Danielle here with Project Read. Today we're going to talk about a few free remote learning resources that you can use with your students. We're going to look at 5 different websites today that offer a variety of activities that are fun and engaging for various different subjects and grade levels. The first resource we're going to look at today is called ReadWorks. You can access ReadWorks at www.readworks.org. This resource deals with all levels from K through 12 and multiple subjects. So let's take a look at a few of the features that it offers. So here we are on the ReadWorks homepage. The first thing you'll want to do is come over to the top right-hand corner and create yourself an account. And this will give you access to all of the free materials available here on the website. Once you've done that, you can head over to Find Contents and look at all of the different options that it has for you to work with your students. So let's take a look at a few of the features offered by ReadWorks. You'll see all of your options over here on the left-hand side. You can sort by grade level or different features available here on the website. So if we're looking up here at reading passages, that will open up the entire library of passages available on ReadWorks, and you can sort through those based on your reader's interest and level. You can also go to article a day sets. Now, these are 10-minute daily routines that help your students by grouping together similar texts so you can talk about one topic that they might be interested in and build on their interest and compare and contrast articles they have read each day. You can do a similar project with your students with paired text, which is only going to give them 2 to look at, and you can do those in one session or you can split them up. You notice that a lot of these articles come with question sets or different activities, which are great to work with your students on. You can assign those to your students, or you can sit in a meeting with them and go ahead and work through them together. They also have articles with human voice audio. So if your student is having trouble with pronunciation and they would like to have that for reference, they can come back to this at any time and hear the article read to them and read along with it. Another excellent feature here at ReadWorks is called Step Reads. What Step Reads do is let you read the same article multiple times at various levels. And so we might come into this Native American conflicts article and see that there's some challenging text here. And so to make this a little bit easier, we might want to look at this as a step read. You notice when I click on Step Read, we now see that it's Step Read 1. So this article has one easier step down that we can give to our students before we move them up to the full article. And so if we scroll down a little bit and look at the article, we'll notice that this first paragraph here is now only 2 sentences long. So if we go back up here and switch to the original passage, we can see that it's much shorter and much more simplified from the original passage. And so it's a good starting point for students who might be struggling and need to catch up to actually read through and understand the original work. Another great feature that ReadWorks offers is the ability to keep track of the assignments that you've given your students and their progress. So let's say you've spent a lot of time going through the articles available here on the website and you've chosen a few that you like. You can go ahead and move over to here to Save to My List, and it will compile a list of the articles that you've liked. That way you can easily access them again without having to search for them. Once you've found articles that you like, you can assign them to students by clicking the Assign button over here on the right. And when you've done that, you can move over to this tab of Assignments in Progress, where you can see items that you've assigned to students. You can set up future assignments, look at ones that they've already completed, and then also track individual student progress. So if you've assigned any of those paired texts or articles a day that we looked at earlier, you can see individual students' progress on each of those. So that's just a quick overview of what ReadWorks has to offer. You can certainly dig deeper into any of these different features and go ahead and find ways to tailor your classroom to your students. So let's take a look at our next resource. That is going to be freerice.com. You can get here by typing in www.freerice.com. Now this is a really cool resource for students to use. It was set up a couple of years ago, and it is meant to quiz students in a game-like manner on multiple different subjects and different difficulty levels. And the idea here is that for every question students answer correctly, 10 grains of rice will be donated to someone in need. So it's a very feel-good website where students can do something good for their own progress and also feel like they're helping another individual out. It does have questions on multiple subjects and different difficulty levels. The levels are not attributed to specific grade levels. So you will have to kind of click through that yourself and figure out where you think your student will be properly challenged. But it can be a lot of fun and a great way to spend some time learning. So let's take a look. When you go to freerice.com, it's going to bring you directly into the game. So you'll see up here that we are in the English vocabulary game. And so you see a word displayed first, and you'll be asked what it means and be given 4 choices. This is exactly the screen that your students will come to when they come to the website. So if you're looking for them to practice vocabulary, it'll bring them right into there without any additional searching. When they answer a question correctly, they will see it light up green, and they will also see that they have donated 10 grains of rice, and this number will continue to go up for each word that they get correct. Now, if you're looking for different levels or different subjects, you're going to come over to the 3 little bars on the left, where you can choose what category you would like to look at. And they'll have things that are English vocabulary, like what we just looked at, but also geography, humanities, language learning. If they're familiar with another language, they can play with that, math, and science. And from each of those categories, you can go ahead and choose one of 5 different levels. And again, these levels are not matched up with a grade level, so you may have to go through and test them out yourself to see which one is most appropriate for your learner. But in any case, they will all look about the same when they get to the quiz. So if we go into harder, for instance, and go back to the English vocabulary quiz, which we already have selected, we can get back into the game by selecting Game and see that now we have a slightly more advanced word available here, but it's still tracking our progress down here, and it still has recorded the 10 grains of rice that we have donated so far. So this is a really fun way to feel good about yourself while you're learning, and it might be a nice relaxing thing for students to do when they're not actively reading or working on another assignment you've given them. The one issue with freerice.com is that it does not offer any explanation for why something is correct or incorrect. So it might also be helpful for you to be in contact with your learner while they are doing this, so you can have a discussion about anything that might be a little more challenging or confusing for them. One last feature to note is that you can create an account on freerice.com, although this is not required at all. But if you do, it'll go ahead and let you track your progress. So if you have a student that's very motivated by watching the number of rice that they've earned go up, this is a great website for that. So that is freerice.com. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next resource. The next place we're going to look at is CommonLit, which can be found at www.commonlit.org. This focuses on grades 3 through 12 and has reading on multiple different subjects. Let's take a look at what they have. So here we are on the CommonLit homepage. Again, we're going to want to come over to the top right corner and go ahead and sign up if you don't already have an account. Again, this is free for students and teachers, so all you have to do is put in some basic information and go ahead and create an account, and that will allow you full access to all of the resources here on the website. Once you have your account set up and you are all logged in, you can come over here on the left and look through the library. It's going to let you sort by grade level and various other options depending on your learner and your objectives. We're going to go ahead and look at featured content right now. And the first thing you're going to notice about a lot of these articles is that they're really visually appealing. A lot of them have very colorful photos that help the reader along through whatever text they're working on. Each photo is also going to give you a variety of information about the article. So you'll see the title up here at the top, you'll see the author, what kind of text it is, and what grade level it's most appropriate for. If you hover over the photo, it'll also give you a little description of what the article is about. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. You'll notice that we have lots of options when we get inside this text, so let's go ahead and take a look at a few of the features here. The first thing we can do is assign this text. So if we have students that are also on CommonLit, we can go ahead and assign this text to them and let them know that this is what we want them to look at for this day or this week so we can discuss it later. We can also download this as a PDF. So if you have a student that has trouble staring at a screen for a long time or may not have access to a computer, we can still pick the articles we would like and hand them to them in a physical form. If we come over here on the right, you can see that there's a read aloud option. For students who feel more comfortable and want to hear the pronunciation of each word, they can go ahead and click the read aloud and read along with the article. There's also a translate option. So again, if we're struggling trying to figure out what some words are in English or the meaning of what they're reading, students can translate this article into whatever their native language is and go ahead and get a little more meaning out of it and then return to the English and see where those words line up. There's an annotation tool that we can use over here. So if we select this, we're able to highlight different areas of the text. So if you happen to be in a video call with your student, you can actually discuss and ask questions about specific areas of the text by highlighting them and directing your student's attention to that sentence or word. There are also guiding questions and assessment questions available with every single article. So if you don't want to come up with questions on your own, or if you want a way to direct your conversation and check for comprehension, these are great tools to use. Within the article itself, you'll notice that there are these little numbers that we can click on, and those are just going to be definitions of words that might be a little more challenging or unfamiliar to students. So that is what an article looks like on commonlit.org, and a few of the features that are really great for tutors to use with their students. So let's take a look at our next resource. We're going to go to Khan Academy, which you can get to by typing in www.khanacademy.org. This is also going to cover all grade levels from pre through 12 and a variety of different subjects. So let's take a look at what they have to offer. So here we are at the Khan Academy homepage. You can follow the same procedure by coming up here to the top right-hand corner and signing up for an account if you want to save all of the information you're looking at today. Once you've got that all set up, we can move over to the Courses menu in the top left, and we can see a drop-down of everything available here on the website. We're going to take a look at Early Math. So some fun features here at Khan Academy are that it has all these lessons pre-made and set up to go in order and build upon one each other. So our students might start by counting and then move into addition and subtraction and go up from there. One great feature here at Khan Academy is the Mastery Points system. So for students who are really motivated by visual progress, they'll be able to see the points as they go through the different steps that you've assigned them. So let's go ahead and look at this counting lesson. So if we click Get Started and come into the lesson, you'll notice that it's broken down into multiple parts, which makes it a little more manageable for students to work with and set starting and ending points and goals for their day. Each lesson has different video options that explain what will be happening within the lesson. So if we watch this video here, we can see students are challenged to put 7 squirrels in the box. So we're trying to learn numbers here and visually representing 7 squirrels within this little box. So this gives students an introduction to what the lesson might be like and what activities they can be expected to do. So if we go ahead and click out of this video, we can take a look at some questions students might be asked. And it'll tell them how many questions are here and approximately how long it should take them. So it's a great way for students who are very busy with jobs or have children of their own, can decide how long they want to sit and work on these projects. And so here we might be doing something very simple, just filling in the missing number and then moving along to the next question. And so once you get it correct, it will let you know that you have done so, and then it will go ahead and have an explanation of what the correct answer is. This is a great feature for when students are working independently and you can't physically be there speaking with them or be connected via phone call or an online meeting, so that they can have some explanation of why their answer was correct or why it was incorrect if they happen to have answered incorrectly. You'll notice down here again it says you can get 5 of 7 questions correct to level up to familiar, so it kind of brings in that game element and makes it a little more fun and challenging. And so that's a lot of the great features here on Khan Academy that students can work with remotely. Let's go ahead and take a look at our final resource today. That is going to be our Southwest Adult Basic Education. To get to this resource, we're going to go ahead and type in www.readingskills4today.com. When we get to the website, we'll notice that it is leveled from 1 to 16, so you can go ahead and choose an appropriate level for your learner. We'll go ahead and start at level 1 and see what we can find. So it has a list of different stories, all that are very simple for readers to work through who are at a very basic reading level. Let's look at Joe's workday. Some things to notice about the resource available here is that we do have some pre-questions available as a PDF. So if you want your students to go ahead and start thinking about the article before they read it, you can assign that to them as well. They will have to have a way to view PDFs, so make sure that they're knowledgeable about how to do that on their computer, or that you have a printed copy you can hand to them. Just below that, you'll notice that there is a post-questions PDF available, so once they've completed the reading, you can have them answer the questions there. You can also print the entire story as a PDF with some supplemental materials if you're able to meet with your learner in person. If we look over here at the article, we'll notice that it is quite simple because we're at level 1, and each line number is labeled. So if you're speaking with your learner about what they've read, you can direct them to specific words. If we scroll down the page just a bit, you'll notice that there is a first, second, and third reading option. So if you have a reader that likes to hear the article read out loud, it has it at different paces. So if you look at the different timestamps here, you'll notice that the first read through is a little bit longer than the second, which is a little bit longer than the third. And that has to do with the pacing. So the first reading is going to be much slower, and each individual word is going to have a little more time so the learner can get used to it and follow along. We also have a countdown timer here. So if you want to challenge your reader while you're working with them, you can set a time that you would like them to get through the article in, and go ahead and set that timer to work with them. And that is the final resource we're going to look at today. If you're interested in any of these resources, we'll go ahead and leave the links underneath this video. We'll also leave the Project Read email, so feel free to contact us if you need any help accessing these resources or have any further questions. Thank you.